Okay, so this is part two for the introductory notes for the Great Gatsby unit. Again, remember, you need to copy these notes down in your notebook. You will not be allowed to have this video for any test or quiz that you can have your notes for. So please put it on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, so the second part of the notes is that of motifs. Now, motifs, you're probably not familiar with that word. However, you have done this in your other English classes. Motifs are patterns or arrangements of elements that express a abstract theme that happens to be in the story. It's a repeated element. Now, the course of The Great Gatsby, you're going to see quite a few motifs. Okay, so the first motif that you're going to be looking at is that of relationships between people of different social classes. In the course of this book, we are going to be looking at two social classes. We're going to be looking at the middle class, that's Myrtle and George Wilson, and then we're going to be looking at the upper class. That's the Buchanans, that's Nick Carraway, that's Jay Gatsby, Jordan Baker. The difference, however, between those two social classes is so vast that you're going to forget the middle class is the middle class. They are going to come across as a very low socioeconomic level because the wealthy is so wealthy. And in terms of these different social classes, generally during the 1920s, how this crowd reacted to one another, they stayed within their social class. They did not socialize outside of their social class. There was very few times that you would see that. Another motif that you're going to be looking at is dreaming of an idyllic love. This specifically is going to be involving Jay Gatsby and Daisy Buchanan. Jay, in his mind, looks at Daisy as she is the perfect person for him because she fits a particular role. And it is something that he builds up in his mind to the point where it becomes a hindrance in his relationship with her. So you'll see that. And there are other characters too that have this idea of what idyllic love should be. Jordan Baker has a particular idea of the man she's supposed to be involved with. Nick Carraway has an idea about the woman he's supposed to be involved with. So it's very much based upon social class and fitting a particular image that the social class projects. Another motif that we're going to be looking at is living a lie. In this book, a lot of the characters, how they appear on the surface, is not who they are underneath it all. A lot of them live lies. They are not who they claim they are. Now, some more obviously than others, because, like, for example, the title character of Jay Gatsby, that's not even his real name. He has another identity. And other characters, they live a lie because, for example, they present themselves as a happy wife and mother, when in reality, they are miserable. And they only stay in the marriage because that's what a person of that social status would do. Another motif is the idea of separating rumor from fact. In the course of this novel, there are a ton of rumors that go around about Jay Gatsby. He is super wealthy. He's new to the social scene, and everybody wants to know who he is and what he's all about. And there's an awful lot of rumors that go around as to how he got his money, who he's related to, why he's in town. And a lot of times it's very difficult to separate what the facts are about a particular character and what the rumors are that are floating around town about them. Valuing a friend is also a motif. In the course of this book, you're really going to find that most of these characters do not know what it means to be a friend. They really are very selfish, self-centered, and don't value those that are around them. Their friends are usually people of the same social class. Doesn't mean they really have much in common except their social class. So there doesn't seem to be much value in a friend with these characters. And the last motif that we're going to be looking at is assigning fault for multiple wrongs. Oftentimes in this book, and I did address this with the theme of morals, oftentimes in this book, people who are of the middle class are going to be blamed for things because it's just easier to believe they're capable of something like that rather than somebody who's super wealthy. There's oftentimes a misconception when it comes to your morals and your social status. And it's just easier sometimes for people to look at this and say, well, this person is at fault because they do this for a living, or they're from this social class, or this is their spouse, or this is where they live. So you'll see how that works over the course of the book as well. So those are the motifs that we will be looking at throughout the novel.